Hey, how's it going today, Facebook? This is Shawn coming to you live from Colton RV, also known as Airstream of Buffalo, down here in Orchard Park, New York. I just want to start today's video off by saying, why don't you go on to Facebook, look up Airstream of Buffalo, give it a like, give it a share, give it a follow. We greatly appreciate it to keep you up to date on the most current inventory and what's happening in the Airstream world down here. Today we're going to be doing a video walk around on the 2020-26 RB Twin Flying Cloud. It's a really exciting floor plan. There's only a few left in the country as Airstream's decided to move away from the 26-foot. So if this layout is something that would interest you, I highly recommend doing some research, coming in, taking a really good look at it. Feel free to schedule an appointment with me. I'll leave my contact information at the end of this video. Without further ado, let's talk a little bit about the Flying Cloud. So a little bit of an upgrade from the Bambi setup. You go from not having these front panels up here, these metal rock guards. These are replaceable. These are here to protect your investment purely. So if you do take some damage on these, don't be afraid. It is really easy to replace these. Very simple to get replacements from the manufacturer. This is probably one of the more important upgrades you get moving up from the Bambi floor line. All of the Airstreams that we keep stock at the dealership here are going to come standard with 180 watts of solar up on top. That's two 90-watt panels, which also gives you a great upgrade for the dual 24 AGM batteries. Down below here, essentially what the 24 AGMs are going to give you is an actual capability to store some of that solar energy you're getting and allow you to boondock a little bit longer. There is also additional hookups for solar in the front should you want to add a portable panel. As we move along, again, when you move up into the Flying Cloud from the Bambi setup, you actually get these the traditional Airstream fold-up steps. 3 steps puts them in, 3 steps pulls them out, and that's going to be your entry into the coach. When we're talking about your 26-foot, I mean, these Airstreams, they take a lot of time to manufacture. Even from the doors themselves, these are pretty similar to like a bank vault that you'd see. It actually takes 8 hours to individually build one door for one Airstream. So again, as you're moving up, one of the things that I do like to talk about are standard across all your floor lines. First and foremost, you're going to have torsion axles, all of your Airstream products. For the Flying Cloud, this is when you step up into the dual axle setup, as opposed to Bambi and Caravelle, where those are going to be single axle floor plans. The dual axles are just going to help with the weight dissipation across the coach, giving you a little bit less sag on the tongue, and just makes the towing experience that much better, backing up that much easier. So above us here, it is still a manual awning. This doesn't really change much when you go up until you start getting up into more of your top tier categories, but it's very simple awning to use, very mechanical. You don't have to worry about anything really going wrong with it, and it's a simple setup. Of course, too, you're going to start having more of your Airstream windows. These are the windows that when you're going inside, pop up the clips and then you're going to pull them up so that you can open the windows up. You start getting more windows as you get higher and higher through the floor plans. So for ours, we do have the window awning package. Essentially what this is going to do is keep some of that direct sunlight from going into the coach, just keeping the temperature down to a nice cool feel, especially for those times when you are boondocking and you just want that nice cross breeze and you can't run the air conditioner. Luckily enough today it's kind of hot. We do have the AC running, so we're very thankful for that. But without further ado, we'll just keep walking around the coach. Rear bumpers also added at the Flying Cloud line from the Bambi. So because this is a twin floor plan, you actually get dual storage on each end of the coach. If you wanted to get the queen with this setup, it just becomes rear storage in the back, a just nice big compartment. But for this, you do get the two sides, so just a little bit more storage capabilities. Traditionally, Airstream doesn't give you much outside storage. They really find all of those nooks and crannies inside. It's kind of like a boat. They don't waste an inch of space in these things. Back here, this is just going to be an area for your refrigerator, so you can come in and maintenance this nice and easy should you need to. Under lock and key, because Airstream's going to build safety into into everything of their coach. Under lock and key is going to be your potable water system. So you can take this up, you can fill it up into with a hose, or if you're really feeling overly ambitious, maybe you fill up your Brita a couple hundred times and walk it over to the coach. Down below, so coming down from the very top, we've got 2 air conditioners that are on this coach that we optioned onto it. So AC is going to drip down below here, right by your water setup. So first we've got our black tank flush. All right, so this thing is really worth its weight in gold. So when it's time to dump, It's by far one of the, probably one of the most time consuming, but and definitely not the funnest part about owning a camper, but it's definitely important to talk about. When you're going to dump, you're simply going to hook up your water hose to this system right here. It's going to force feed water into your gravity-fed black tank and help push all of that stuff out. On the other side here, we've got ourselves our city water outlet. Just really small key details I like to talk about with Airstream. I mean, notice how it's a brass fitting on the inside. You know, it's not all just plastic. They don't really cut any corners when they're building these products. They take their time. They're very meticulous, and every single person that's on the factory floor is responsible for the quality that's being delivered to your front doorstep. So as a dealership, it's a peace of mind thing for us that when we're putting a customer into a product like this, that we know you're going to enjoy your time camping and you're going to have way less issues than you might with some other brands. Down below here, you also do have an outside shower with hot and cold water settings, and just a nice little attention to detail kind of thing. They even put this little clip on here so that you can hook it up, wash your hands. Maybe you've got a dog and you need to wash him up, or maybe you just want to spray your camera lady, but we won't do that today. So if you take a look down the side of the coach, you're going to notice that all of those things that you don't want on the camping side, you know, underneath your main awning where you're going to be hanging out, all of that stuff is placed nice and neat over on this side here. So that's going to be your exhaust for your heater, refrigerator, hot water tank. All of that's over away from the side that you're not going to be spending the time on the coach. So you don't have to worry about your kids running around, maybe put their hand on a hot exhaust fan because it's away from the side of the coach you're going to be camping at. Underneath, so you're going to have dual 30-pound propane tanks. This is another upgrade you get from the Bambi line, where you're going to get dual 20 pounds. So a little bit more propane should be more than enough to last you a decent amount of the season, unless you're considering full-time. Maybe you got to fill them up once, but 60 pounds of propane is quite a bit, and that should get you pretty far. So without further ado, let's take a look on the inside. This is a really gorgeous interior. You've got your sunlit maple cabinetry and the honey upholstery. So let's take a look inside. So I know I've got an Irish whisper, so my voice kind of carries a little bit, but opposed to traditional campers, I would say this is probably the biggest upgrade you get going from Bambi into Flying Cloud. Up above is going to be your Whisper Quiet AC system. So where you see these filters front and back of the coach is where your air conditioner sits. So they use low profile Dometic air conditioners to reduce the amount of air conditioner that actually comes into the coach. By doing this, they're also able to make a much tighter fit, what's the word I'm looking for, track system, so everything is going to be more evenly dissipated throughout the coach, and then it creates a much quieter feel as well. So there's tons of exhaust ports and you know, dumps and returns that go throughout it. Those can all be angled differently, open to different settings. So if you really want to get this place nice and cool, we all know how it is in Buffalo. It can get a little muggy in the summer, so that's pretty worth it. For the setup up here, so you've got this huge U-shaped dinette. I mean, you can truly fit quite a few people around here. These tables are both individual of each other, so if this is going to be more of a couples coach with that in mind, you can just have one set up so you can have a spot to sit, watch your TV, or if you're going to have company, this creates a very large sleeping area. It's good for, you know, a couple of adults, probably fit 2 or 3 kids on the back here, and then with the twin setup in the very front of, or in the very back of the coach, you get a little bit more sleeping and floor space back there. So with all of the cabinetry, again, when I told you on the outside that Airstream doesn't waste any space, I mean, they're giving you literally all the storage in the world that they can, and there's no slides in this coach. From the outside, these things, like, you know, people will say, oh, that looks like a submarine, looks like a toaster going down the road. They look like they're so tight from the outside, but once you step in, it really opens up and you get a very solid feel for the quality of this coach. Again, I can't speak enough about, you know, the attention to detail. So these cabinets up here, they're spring assisted, and the tension can actually be adjusted to go up or down based on how you want them when you get to your site. So for some of you folks that are more seasonal campsite people, You can go ahead and loosen these up a little bit so that it's not such a springy feel. But when it's time to move the coach and you're going to take a long trip, or it's time to bring it to storage, you want to go ahead and tighten those down so that they're not going to shake and move as you're going down the road. You have stuff falling all over the place. It's no fun picking up your campsite before you actually get to camp. All residential style appliances, from Kohler sinks, you've got Moen faucets. I mean, look how deep, nice singular basin. Again, you've got a little pull out right here, and then more windows. So you start seeing these port windows as you move up the production line into the Flying Cloud from the Bambi. I make a lot of direct comparisons with the Bambi line. Bambi and Flying Cloud, they're hands down Airstream's two most popular floor plans that they build. Bambi's being a nice lightweight towable option that go up to 22 feet, where the Flying Cloud starts at 23 and goes all the way up to a 30-foot bunkhouse. So Flying Cloud is going to be a very family-oriented floor plan, a lot more cost-effective, and of course it's just going to bring you the quality that you always look for in a camper. So again, for the way that we option all of our coaches, I talked about solar briefly. So on the inside, you already have a prefabricated solar charge system. This is what's known as the Atkinson system. A couple of updates coming to Airstream for 2021s, but that Atkinson system is plenty to actually help you fully utilize your solar setup. Allows you to add a couple extra panels should you really need that boondock style power. Because there's a 1,000 watt inverter that's built into this coach, all of your outlets inside are actually able to run from that solar that you're charging up on the roof. Your inverter switch is right here. Just like that, all of our outlets have power now. You can see that we have an adjustment onto the screen over here, letting us know that we're starting to use some of that solar that's been stored. All sorts of different monitors here, so we can check our battery voltage, fresh tank, gray tank, black tank. Obviously there's no water in here right now, so we don't got to worry about that. We do add convection microwave into all of our floor plans that we order. Solar convection microwave, we like to do these things fully loaded. I don't know, it just makes camping a little bit more convenient. So right over here we've got a couple of drawers. This is a nice pull-out pantry. And then up above here you've got nice storage up above, so a two-tiered shelf. And everything, I mean, when you open and close these, I mean, these are all cedar lined cabinets. When you open and close them, I mean, you can feel the quality behind them. They're not flimsy, they don't shake in your hand. You just know that you're getting into something really nice when you purchase one of these. Up above here, you have your hidden European style hinges for the cabinet up above. And then some additional storage over on this side here. So a nice hanging closet. Inside, Airstream does hook you up with a nice little goodie box. We already put out the Airstream mat for you, nice welcoming touch to get into the coach. We didn't talk about it on the outside, but there's a monitor camera that's above the rear window awning. It is a monitor camera, not a backup camera, which basically means, if you're going out there with your partner, someone's going to help you backing up, getting into a tight spot at your campsite. There's a tree coming up quick. I think we all have already had that oh shoot moment, where you're saying, oh, stop! They'll hear you inside the truck when you yell. So that's a really important thing. Again, Airstream builds peace of mind into their products to make sure that you have a safe time camping and just ease of use. If you want to check out the bathroom here. Bathroom, you've got your molded fiberglass shower. That's plenty big enough. I mean, if you're 6'4", 6'5", you're gonna have a hard time in any camper, but they still give you plenty of shoulder space and even a bench area to sit down and relax if you're gonna take a longer shower. Vanity mirror over on the side, and then again, all residential style appliances, storage down below, a towel rack, even like a little slider for your window. So again, like I told you before, this is going to be a twin floor plan. One of the biggest benefits to having the twin is all of this floor space that we have in between. So, I know, on those cold mornings you like to wake up next to your significant other. It's okay, you don't have to crawl over the bed to get out of bed. You're not gonna wake somebody up if you're an early riser. Someone likes to wake up a little later than you. But again, the floor space is nice. You can get up, get ready for the day, get out the door without really waking anybody up, and just start your day off right. You do have a TV in the back as well as the front of the coach, a couple of reading lights, cross breeze windows, and then you have your emergency exit in the very back of the coach here too. To operate this, I don't think I'm going to show you today, but just pull this cord right from the top. That'll remove the screen, quickly release the door, and you can safely exit the coach in case of an emergency. Again, we'll always talk about storage being a premium. Again, look inside the cabinets, all cedar lined on the inside. That's solid wood. You know, I can't give Airstream enough credit, because you got to give credit where it's due. They don't cut corners. They don't waste time on the production, and they just put together a really well-rounded product. You know, so I guess the last thing to wrap it up, I don't think I talked about it in the last video I did. So when you're looking through, you see all of these rivets that are on the inside of the coach. I want you to keep up with me. Don't blink or you might lose me. But as they're going down production and you watch these guys do their work, they're literally going about this fast going down the production. There's two guys on this team that do it. One that's going to be from the outside, one from the inside. If these guys ever miss, right, they risk bucking and bending the metal into a position that it's no longer usable. So what they'll do, they'll actually stop production on that coach, pull it back on the beginning of that step, and rebuild it from that point forward. That's part of their commitment to making sure that the camper they deliver to you is going to be a high quality product, something that's going to last 40 or 50 years for you. This is something you can pass down to your grandkids, pass down to your kids. I mean, guys, it seriously is about as nice of a travel trailer as you can think about getting. That kind of concludes everything I've got to talk about with this camper today. One thing I would love to pass on to you guys, if you want to come through, inventory is getting light now. You know, we are putting in orders, factory orders for Airstream's facilities. We have all the ability to walk you through a couple of different floor plans and options. But I would tell you, if you are interested in taking a look, take advantage of it while there is inventory on the ground. This is one of the last 26 footers that are available in the country. Again, this floor plan will be discontinued. So if you do want to set up an appointment with me, my name is Shawn. My phone number is 716-957-3250, extension 351. I'd be more than happy to just walk you into a couple of these, or even answer any questions you might have about the product. So without further ado, we'll see you when you come down.